Are you a normal person that just does normal things with a normal schedule and a normal job? So you're a normal person, but maybe you just don't feel normal. Maybe there's times that you walk into a room and the energy is just off and you have to walk right back out. And maybe whoever you're with is like, what's going on? Like, there's nothing wrong here. This is just a room with people. We're here at an event. Let's go inside. But you're hesitant. You can feel something different because you're not normal. You're just in a normal box. And if you're feeling discomfort inside your normal box, then maybe watching a few of my videos are going to be for you. Maybe this new path is what's calling you. So if you've ever gone to an event and instantly, as soon as you get close enough, you can just feel the bombardment of energy, that's a real thing. And the more people there are, the more energy there's going to be. And if it's an event with music, be mindful of what the music is. If it's an event with speakers, hopefully it's good motivational speakers. Usually you're not anxious to go into those type of things. I'm talking about like nightclubs or parties, things where there's anything where there's alcohol. Alcohol is completely not what we've been told what it is. That's a whole different post. But so if you're feeling discomfort in a normal life, you're like, well, I'm doing everything I'm supposed to be doing. So why am I feeling this discomfort? There's a reason for that. And maybe you're in your normal box, in your normal life, and people start saying things to you. People start making comments that maybe you're not so normal, that you're special, that you make them feel a certain way, that you say things that inspire them or shed light on a situation they were having problems with. There's that too. And maybe you're in your box and things go wrong, and yet you have this undeniable, unshaking faith that everything's going to work out for you. You're not that worried about your survival or your future. Those things I just covered, those are 3 unusual tips that you're headed towards a spiritual awakening. So buckle up. My name's Deb, and I share the human experience to help others with their human experience. Let's dive into this a little bit more. All right. So, when we talk about being able to feel the energies of a room, let's break it down. You are a human being. We have a bioelectric field. This bioelectric field spreads out at a minimum of 3 feet around us. Do you remember COVID? Do you remember that 6 feet distancing? Do you remember how weird it felt to be near others and to be forced to be outside of arm's reach? So they say 3 feet, right? But like how big is your wingspan with your hands? And then it's going to be beyond that. And then if you were called to this video, you probably haven't ventured into meditation yet. But once you begin the process of meditation, you understand that your energy is everywhere at all times. It's not just 3 feet, it's not 6 feet. It is wherever you put your intention at. When you're saying a prayer for someone on the other side of the world, or for a disaster, or for a war, that is you putting your energy out there. So when we go to these events, I remember before what I would call my spiritual awakening, I had a leave the matrix awakening before I had a spiritual awakening, if that makes sense. The Because the matrix is very controlled, very not so much freedom, follow the box, follow the cookie cutter. And then so leaving the matrix, you realize, okay, there's more than that. I can make money doing the things that I want to do. I don't have to have a 9 to 5 job. I can do something a little bit different. But there's still a lot of limiting beliefs that are holding you into the three-dimensional world. And so there's a time where you leave the matrix, and that's a different cycle before you actually have an awakening. So I was in before I had the spiritualness of it, right? There was New Year's Eve. Me and my partner were like, let's go out, let's go to the bar, let's go be around people and music and fun. And I we parked in an adjacent parking lot and walked over. I didn't even get to the front door. I got to the parking lot of the venue, and I wouldn't even call it a venue. It was a dive bar. Mm. Excuse me for taking a drink of my coffee. It was a dive bar, and I have never felt comfortable in that place. It is dark, it is dingy, and you can feel all the energies. If you can feel, you can almost like taste a room by the energy inside it. Do you know what I mean? Can you feel that? If you are someone that experiences that, you are not the same as others. You are more tuned in. You have a clearer vessel than others. You have the ability to sense the energies of what's going around you. And then you feel it and your body stops you. Now, once you learn to listen to your energy and you take the time to spend time in nature and learn to differentiate your energy from other people's energy, you can mitigate this situation a lot more, and you can put up protection. And really, you can go into certain situations and you're able to recognize what the energy is telling you, and then use discernment if it's even worth going into that situation. Sometimes it is, because sometimes there's people that need healing in there. Sometimes you're meant to be in there to have a specific situation happen. But for the most part, those energies that we feel are telling us something and communicating to us, and it's our responsibility to listen when it's communicating to us. And in the beginning, it just feels like anxiety. It was labeled as anxiety. They're like, oh, you just don't like crowds. Oh, you're just an introvert. Oh, like my partner had no idea why I couldn't just go in. He's like, we haven't even gone in yet. You don't even know who's in there. It wasn't a fear of who was in there. It wasn't I didn't like the music. It was a full on stop by the energy that was coming from that place. And it was a bar. I need to do some research on the wording of what alcohol does in the spiritual realm, because it doesn't just affect the body and reduce your inhibitions on a physical level. It opens up your soul to demons in the spiritual realm. There's the wording. So if you also partake of alcohol, be mindful of what spirits you're letting in. Alcohol is called spirits, right? Words are magic, words are spells, and things are named the way that they are named for a reason. Okay. So if you've ever felt stopped for no reason at all other than a sensation, know that that is your gift of being able to sense the energies. And it's a beautiful gift. And it's also a curse that if you, it's a gift that the more you cultivate it, the easier your life is going to be. And if you avoid cultivating it, if you become afraid of it and label it as anxiety and push it away, then time's going to drag on for you a little bit more before you reach the level you want to reach. So that's kind of it for the firsts. Unusual tip that you're about to awaken. Tip number 2. What did we say for tip number 2? I think I just kind of go into it. Did I even say these were tips? I know I labeled 3 things. Number 2, people feel comfort around you. People feel em- they feel called to tell you their life story. They feel called to bring their problems to you. People feel comfort around you. People are excited to see you at events because of the energy that you offer to the experience, right? That's when you have that ability to reflect in others the parts that they don't see of themselves. And this, okay, I said that with the intention of good. Like we reflect the love and the beauty within themselves that they don't see. However, we also don't hide things very well. And if someone has some darker energies within them, we also reflect that back and we don't downplay it. We're like, if you're putting up a mask, I'm a hard person to put a mask up around, and you're going to feel it. You're going to feel that discomfort. And that's how you use discernment about the people and the company to keep around you. If people feel comfortable around you and you know that you're a person of truth, then those are your people. If people feel discomfort around you in any way, defensive, on guard, those people are hiding things and they know that you can see right through them. And they're maybe their time is spent not maybe their time is better spent not in your presence. And maybe your presence is better spent in the time of those who are also seeking truth and love. And that's really it for number 2. Like if you feel like you're a healer, you're a healer. If you feel like you have gifts, you have gifts. Our gifts aren't just the skills that we choose to go to college for. Our gifts are what we feel called to. It's where the flow is. It's how we match up our light wave geometry to the architecture of the universe to live in flow. And the last tip, number 3, I spent 10 minutes on the first tip, 1 minute on the second tip. What was the third one? You have an unshakable faith that everything's going to work out. I became pregnant at 16. And I was scared of what my parents would think. I was scared of a lot of things, but not really. I felt okay. I felt okay until someone important to me said a specific sentence. I'm not going to say who that person is or what that sentence was, but that one sentence did impact me negatively and took away my faith of what was to come. I feel like that one sentence actually placed a curse on me. So it's been a decade's process for me to remove that curse. Um, but no, I will share that sentence. Basically, that sentence was that, well, I just screwed up my life forever. And I don't remember the exact words. It could have been a swear word in there. But basically, that forever, my life was now screwed up from one mistake. And that is the most negative, horrific, satanic filled sentence I have ever heard. And it disgusts me and it put a curse on me to where I felt like because I made one choice that none of my choices after that would ever work out or ever be okay or good enough. And that's just not true. Like I had an inner knowing that everything was going to be okay. As I'm doing what I could to spend as much time to be the person raising my child as a child myself, I knew that everything was going to work out. And people are like, aren't you worried about an IRA? Aren't you worried about your retirement? Don't you need to be getting a career? Well, like I have to be worried about raising this human being right now, right? Like this human being's not going to be a little baby forever. It's just a matter of years. So no, I'm not worried about a career. I'm worried about this human being. Um, so excuse me, took a drink of my coffee if you're not actually visually watching. Let me regain my train of thought here. Deep breath in. Adults would tell me to worry about retirement and that I needed to plan for the future. Never mind the moment that I was struggling in the now. And what is that about? That's a whole other video. Everyone's trying to tell us to plan for the future and be prepared for the future and pick your career for the future and worry about retirement for the future and get loans to just pay off in the future. Well, what about now? What about right now? I am living in the now. People would question me and my husband about retirement from two people who were not in a corporate world. His answer was he didn't need to worry about retirement because his grandparents had money. I don't know how that's working out for him, but he's the exact same spot he was when I left him. A little personal tidbit. He's doing great. He's in the same house that we bought together as a married couple. He has great relationships with his family. He's doing great. This is nothing bad on him. And actually, I admired that faithfulness of like it allowed him the freedom to do what he wanted because he wasn't held captive to a story that he had to worry about what was going to happen 60 years down the road. And that was admirable. I did take a lesson from that. So thank you. Thank you, my first husband. Wow. I don't talk to him. That feels really weird. And in my mind, I had sentences that I would say. Those are still private sentences, but one day they will be spoken. And they are still in the works. And I see it. I see it as it's coming to fruition. I had a faith and a knowing. I've known all along what my future is. I've known all along what my purpose and riches are going to come into play as. That wording was weird because it was like adding a verb and a noun and then, oh gosh. Videos are hard. I don't do editing. Videos are hard. Thank you for listening and dealing with the non-edits. It's just real, okay? So I know there's people out there that appreciate this realness. I appreciate the realness. Over the last few years, I have felt very alone at my community events. And these are people that I once felt very connected to. And so to sit among hundreds of people that you have personally had deep conversations with and hugged and laughed with and had near, like we're doing adventure sports, like we could die together. And to sit among them and feel alone is a sad feeling. And the aloneness came from not being able in the things that I was going through, none of them could understand and connect with the things that I was going through at that time. And then so these videos allow me to talk to myself so that I can understand my own human experience. And it's actually healing that sense of aloneness. Now, is it healing that sense of aloneness because I'm on the internet and it's a false sense of connection? No, because nobody's commenting on these videos. Nobody's sending me messages. Nobody's interacting. My YouTube channel does not have the stats to be able to have a community membership yet. So as I'm sitting here talking to you, whoever you are, this is me just talking to me. Because there is no back and forth dialogue. But as I'm talking to me, I am talking to you because I know that my gift is to reflect those that are in front of me. And when I have this camera in front of me, I know that it's going on YouTube, which is worldwide. And technically, every single person on the planet has the capability to tap into this vibration and watch this video. I grew up knowing that there was going to be a new way of being by the time I was in my old age. And now I know that I'm here to help usher in that new way of being. And as big and crazy as that sounds, as I say that in my tiny little bedroom that feels so perfect and comfortable that I built, others helped me build it too, but like I manifested it. We don't do anything alone. There's that. Because we are all one and all interconnected. And it's the journey of connection that really trailed off there. Yeah. All right. So, three tips of three unusual tips that you're on your way to a spiritual enlightenment. Number one is you can feel the energy of a room before you even walk in. Number two, others feel different in your presence. Not just that you feel different around others, but others go out of their way to tell you you make them feel different. And number three, you have an unshakable amount of faith and trust that everything is going to work out. That the path is always the path and it can always loop around. Time is never lost and God can always fix anything just like that. You also have that power to change just like that. But the human density makes it a little bit harder. So, yes, the power is capabilities there, but it is a process. My name's Deb. I share my human experience, helping others with their human experience. And apparently, I'm here to usher in the new earth. Let me know if you're here for it. Have a blessed day.